All right. Welcome to the summer 2019 session of this course. This is educational planning. Our actual classroom number that's assigned to it is 5252 in case you need that. I just wanted to do a quick introductory video so I can introduce myself so you can see what I look like. So it's almost like you're in a regular classroom. You can hear my voice, all of that. And then basically you can kind of see what the videos are going to look like because every week I'm going to be putting a weekly lecture video in each of the folders of our classroom. So that way you kind of have an explanation of what we're going to be doing for the week. Sometimes I'll go over a little bit of the chapter just to explain some of the concepts if there's things that I really want to make sure that students are understanding. But for the most part, I do expect that you have to get a textbook and that you have to read your textbook because, why spend all that money if you're not going to actually use your textbook? But I do try to go over some of the information if there's some particular concepts that I really think, maybe we need to explain and go into a little bit more depth as well as you reading the textbook. So basically, just to introduce myself so you know just a little tiny bit about me, because one of your assignments for week one is for you to introduce yourself and to say a little bit about yourself. So that way, me and other students in the class can read it and just kind of get to know the other people that are in the class kind of like we would if we were just in a regular classroom. So my name is Claudine Kroom. I have been teaching at Rose, and I've been teaching this particular class for about 3.5 years. I used to actually live there in Oklahoma, and I taught the class at the campus. And then when I moved after teaching the class for about a year and a half, I moved because my husband got relocated for his job, and they started offering me the online classes. So I've been teaching this class online for the last 2 years. And I really enjoy online teaching. I actually got my master's degree and I got my postgraduate degree online. I went to University of Phoenix and I took all online classes. And so I have a lot of experience not only teaching this class online, but I have a lot of experience being a student. So I try to always make changes to my classroom to try to make things easier for the students because I understand for some students it can be really stressful, especially if you've never taken an online class before. It's very stressful to figure out, what you're supposed to be doing, where do you turn things in, what's the time frame for how you have to turn things in, due dates, things like that. And to be in an online class and to be an online student, you really have to be self-motivated. You have to be organized because if you're not, it's going to be very, very easy for you to lose track of where you're at in the class, and you'll also fall behind very, very quickly. And it's very easy to do. It's especially for a class like this summer class, since it's an 8 weeks class, it's a little bit more accelerated than when I teach the 16 weeks version. And so we're kind of having to cram twice as much information into each week because, you're basically taking it in half the time. I reduce a few of the assignments because I understand that there's just not as much time available for students to be able to complete everything, but it's still going to be accelerated and it's still going to be kind of fast paced. So you have to stay organized. I highly recommend for this class that you either use your phone calendar, and then when you see at the beginning of each week, when you see like what assignments are due, when the due dates are, if it will help you to stay organized and give yourself kind of a reminder, I would use like your phone calendar, type in what your assignments are when they're due, and maybe set it to send you an alarm a couple of days ahead of time. If you've forgotten about the assignment, it'll at least remind you, and then you can go, oh, okay, I have to actually turn this in by Sunday. That's just something I suggest. Or if you carry a day planner, some people prefer to write things down. If you carry a day planner, put the assignments in that way. So that way you're kind of keeping track of when things are due. And I try to make it as clear as possible. And usually in my weekly lecture videos, I will say, here's the assignments, here's when they're due, here's what you need to do for them. And I'll explain whether they're ones that maybe it's going to take a little bit of time. So you might want to not wait to the very last minute to try to finish it. Especially the one group project that we'll be working on, you will need to check in at the beginning of the week, and you will need to start working on it at the beginning of the week. You don't want to wait until the end of the week to do it because then you have group members that are waiting on you, and that does not usually go very well. So basically, I guess just a little bit about myself. I start on a tangent and I just kind of keep going, but a little bit about myself. I now live in Virginia. I live outside of the Richmond area, and Basically, I am a mom of two. I stay home with my kids, but I teach the class online. So I'm basically doing part-time work. Um, a little bit about my background. I've been in education for quite some time. I graduated with my master's in elementary education, and then I got my postgraduate degree in um, basically educational leadership. And pretty much from there, I started teaching in the Oklahoma City Public Schools, and I was teaching in special education. And then I started working at Rose, and I really enjoy working with adult students. I enjoy this class particularly because I really think that it is a valuable class. There are a lot of skills that a lot of college students don't necessarily, they either don't realize that they have available to them, they or skills that they have, but they're not using them. And sometimes it's really good to have a class, or just someone saying these are things that you could do to help you be more successful. And it's got a lot of exercises. We do a lot of like self-assessments and things that kind of just give you a good introduction to different tools that you have available to you. And we also go over a lot of the resources that are on campus that you can use that maybe you don't even realize you have available to you that are free. So we go over a lot of those kind of things. And we pretty much use the textbook that you will find in our syllabus. It'll have the ISBN number. We use that textbook and we pretty much stick to it. Most of the exercises that I do are going to be out of the textbook. So you do need to either purchase the textbook or you need to rent it. I know a lot of students, if they're using financial aid, which I'm not sure over the summer if students are able to use financial aid over the summer. I cannot remember. I have not taught a summer class for the last couple of years, so I can't remember if they still do financial aid for the summertime. If they don't, and if you're purchasing the textbook out of pocket, like if you're going to go to the bookstore at Rose and purchase the textbook, you can go ahead and do that. Do not purchase MindTap. You do not need MindTap. I'm not even going to really go into it or explain what MindTap is. It's kind of like an online version of submitting assignments and things like that. But I don't set up my classroom that way just because I think for most students, especially if they haven't taken online classes, it's easier for you to just get the textbook or rent it. If you don't want to spend the money on the textbook itself, you can get on Amazon, and there's a lot of other different websites. I think Chegg.com is one that you can get textbooks from. If you type in the ISBN number that you will find on the syllabus, you can, a lot of the times, I've seen our textbook, the 5th edition, I've seen it on Amazon, and I think it was like for rent for a semester for about $20. So if you don't want to spend the money to outright buy the book, please just rent the book and try to do that this week in the first week, because we are going to get going like right from the gate. We are just going to take off. And if you do not have a textbook by week 2, you are going to start falling behind, because I can only provide the exercises and that information. And I only have available to me chapter 1 as an actual attachment that I can put in our classroom. That is the only chapter I have available to me that has been given to us by administration, because we do realize that a lot of students can't get their textbook within the first few days of class. So I just kind of go ahead and put the chapter 1 on there. So that way, if you haven't gotten your textbook yet, you can kind of get started on your exercises and your reading. But you really need to try to get your textbook right away. If you do the rental, usually they can send it to you within a few days. So I would get on that right now. If you're not going to purchase the textbook, then go ahead and rent it. You just can't write in the textbook if you rent it, but you can. Basically, I'm going to explain here in just a second how you turn in assignments. If you rent a textbook, it's fine. You don't really need to write in a textbook. You can turn in your assignments a different way, so that way you don't have to actually write on the exercises that are in the textbook. Now, one thing that I will say, for submitting your assignments, it's pretty easy. Basically, what you're going to do once you have your textbook, if there are exercises that we're doing out of the textbook, what you can basically do is you can write on notebook paper, or you can type up your exercises like on a Microsoft Word document. If you bought your textbook and you want to actually write on your assignment, on your exercises, you can do that as well. It just depends on your situation. So just kind of take it as it comes. Basically, if you're renting the textbook and you can't write in it, you're going to have to either write out your exercises on notebook paper, or you're going to type it up on like a Microsoft Word document. And then basically, in order to submit it, you're going to you're going to take a picture of your assignment. You need to make sure it's clear and legible. You're going to take a picture of it. And I recommend you just using your phone. If you have a smartphone, take a picture, make sure you can see everything. You can either attach the picture attachment to the actual assignment folder that I assign to you all each week, or you can download something on your phone, which I usually tell students to do because it's actually a really cool, it's kind of a scanning app, and it's called CAM Scanner, CAM, C-A-M Scanner. If you type that into the App Store, or if you have an Android phone, I think it's called the Play Store, I can't remember. Type in CAM Scanner. That is a really good tool because it'll take your picture that you take from your phone. So if you take a picture of your assignment, your page of your assignment, and you upload it on CAM Scanner, it'll actually scan the page. It will make it bright, it'll make it clear, and it'll also convert it to a PDF document. So that way, when you go ahead and upload your assignment into the classroom, it's going to be a very clear, legible attachment. But if you take a good picture, with it, that's fine. You can do it just as a regular picture and then just upload the picture. I basically set all the types of attachments that you can put your assignment into, and I pretty much have every single attachment on there that my computer at home can actually take. So it'll take a Microsoft Word document, it'll take a PDF, it'll take I think it'll even take a spreadsheet, but we don't have anything that you'll need to submit as a spreadsheet. But anyway, I'll put on there, if for some reason you try to upload a document and it's not taking your attachment, you're going to have to email me. I can see if I can put that attachment on there if my computer will actually allow me to view, but you shouldn't have any problems. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. And if you use CAM Scanner, you can also add pages. So if you have, let's say, an exercise that's 3 or 4 pages, you can actually take a picture of the first page, then you can click add, then you can add a second page, and it'll put it all into one attachment. And then that way, when you upload it into the classroom, it's all going to be in one attachment, all the pages that you have available. Because if you do pictures and you just upload the pictures, you're going to have to take a picture of the first page, upload it, take a picture of the second page, upload it, so on. So it's kind of up to you what you think is easier. If you just want to take the pictures and use it as a picture attachment, like a JPEG, that's fine. That's up to you. Or if you want to try to download CAM Scanner and try that on your phone and see if you like that. CAM Scanner is really good too because you can use it for all sorts of other things, not even just for this class. So I highly recommend it to students because I've used it a number of times when I've needed to scan a document and email it to someone. Like when we just bought our house not that long ago, it was super valuable for just being able to scan documents that we were wanting to email to people because we didn't have a scanner available to us at home. So it's kind of a cool app if you do want to download that and use it. Okay, the only other thing basically that I really want to kind of direct you all to, since you're here in this folder on the Canvas Classroom, there is a video too. There's another video in this same folder where you found this one, and it's going to be a classroom tour video. I want you to click on that and watch it. It's a very short video, but I want you to watch it because I'm going to basically walk you through our Canvas Classroom so you can see what kind of things you can expect to find, when you see an assignment folder, how to turn in the assignment that way, where to find things. There's a calendar there. When I put a due date on an assignment, it will actually show up on your Canvas homepage saying that there is an assignment due by a due date. So you'll be able to see notifications on your Canvas page saying that you have certain things that are due and coming up. But I'm going to show you the layout of basically what the weekly folders look like, where you can basically find things. You only, in your view of Canvas, you only can see a few things. I let you see basically the modules, or what I call the weekly folders, which are on your homepage. And so if you click on, let's say we're in week 1, you click on our week 1 folder, you're basically going to see every lecture video, assignment, anything like that. And each one that you click on, basically it'll have an explanation saying, how to submit the assignment there. You just have to read the directions and basically you can submit your assignments that way. And then in our week 1 folder, after you watch the classroom tour video, in our week 1 folder that shows a due date, which would be by Sunday, just to give you that heads up, our classroom, it always starts on a Monday. So for this week 1, when you guys are starting the summer class, June 3rd, at midnight, basically at 12 a.m., is when the classroom opens. So it's going to be like that every single week. On Monday at 12 a.m., the classroom will open for that week. By the following Sunday coming up, so basically 7 days later, on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. is always when assignments are going to be due. So anything I assign in a weekly folder, it'll open that Monday, and then it'll be due by Sunday. So you have 7 days. You can complete it at any point in time in that 7 days, except for like our group project. But I will explain, like the week before we do the group project, I'll say that's coming up. You need to expect it. Don't wait to the last minute to check in. But anyway, for normal weekly assignments and things like that, you have the entire week to work on them. So you can basically get them done at your convenience whenever you're off work, whenever you're not taking other classes, whatever the case may be. So just be aware of that. That's how our classroom is set up. So just go ahead after this video ends, go ahead and click on that video too, take the quick classroom tour so you know where everything is. And then basically after that, you're going to go to the week 1 folder. It's going to say, this folder is going to open on Monday, June 3rd, and everything that's in here that's assigned to you is going to be due by Sunday, June 9th. And once you click on that folder, you're going to see the assignments. There's going to be a lot because I have to get you all started. So I need to make sure you know how to use your Rater email. I need to make sure you know how to access Oasis. I need to make sure that you do an online proficiency. And I also want you to take the online etiquette discussion post. I want you to read that and answer the discussion post. And it does have a little page that you need to read before you do that discussion post. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot that you're going to be doing each week. So you just need to stay organized. I try to order everything in the weekly folder, where if you kind of follow along in the weekly folder, click on the link, complete that assignment, click on the next link, complete that assignment. You should be able to kind of follow along. And most of the exercises and things in the book are pretty easy. They're not super difficult. It's just a matter of you staying organized, staying on top of it, and getting them submitted. And obviously, if, at any time in the class, if you're confused about an assignment, or if you're trying to turn something in and it's not working or something's going on, email me. I provide my email in the syllabus. Email me and I will basically try to explain it to you. If it's something that I can't explain to you, Canvas has a really good help. If you click on the help button on your Canvas page, there is an area that you can click on that says chat with Canvas support, and they have a section for students where you can click on it and they will sit there. You can even do it over just like a chat message where they can walk you through something if you don't understand how to do something. So it's really cool. I've had to use it a lot of times because Canvas is kind of new for all of us. And I've had to use it several times where I've had to get on there and chat with someone from their support team, and they're awesome. So if you feel like you don't understand how to do something, and if I can't help you with it, do not hesitate to contact them because they're really, really helpful. Okay, so that's it for the introduction video. I know I bounce around a lot. It's kind of the accelerated class. I think it's going to have even my brain a little bit scattered. So I'm going to try to lock it up. But anyway, go click on the link for the video for the tour of our classroom, and then go ahead and get started on the week 1 assignments when you click on that folder, and you should be good to go. And then just email me if you have any questions. All right, see you here in a second.